just going to introduce Nichole, who is the founder and CEO of Margrave Financial Consulting Limited. Nichole has more than 35 years of experience in the finance industry and brings a wealth of knowledge and practical insights to help your businesses thrive. With all her experience, I'm sure she's got a lot to say and it will be really interesting. So I will just, at the moment, we're going to do the presentation. We'll have some Q&As. If you want to stop throughout and ask a question, could you just raise the yellow hand on the screen, please? And Nichole will answer you. Otherwise, we'll wait to the end and we'll have Q&As then. So, Nichole, can I hand over to you to share your screen, please?
Yeah, hold on a second while I sort myself out. So, welcome everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be doing this webinar for South East London Chamber of Commerce. I've been with these guys. This is my second year, and this is my first webinar. So today we're going to discuss how to future-proof your business leveraging AI for more strategic finance function. Now, what does that mean? Basically, AI is here and it's here to stay and it's not going anywhere. So we kind of need to sort of start embracing it as part of our business function and our finance function, regardless of the size of your business. Evolving landscape of finance. So basically, in today's dynamic environment, finance teams are under increasing pressure to do more with less. So like meeting compliance requirements, managing cash flow, generating insightful reports are just few of the critical tasks that financial teams need to juggle daily. But what if there was a way to streamline these processes, free up valuable time and empower your business and your finance team to focus on more strategic work? So enter the artificial intelligence. So basically in this webinar, we'll explore how AI can revolutionize your finance function and future-proof your business for success. The rise of AI in finance. Now, this has been around for a little while, but you sort of don't realize that it's there. So traditionally, financial professionals have had to rely on manual analysis of data, a process that can be seriously time consuming and prone to errors. AI, however, changes the game. So basically, machine learning algorithms can be trained on vast data sets of financial information, which include market trends, historical data, and customer behavior. And what this does, this allows them to identify complex patterns and relationships that would be difficult, if not impossible, for us mere humans to uncover. So how can AI enhance your financial function or your finance function? So it's basically transforming financial operations. So the applications of AI in finance in general are far reaching. So here's some of the key areas where AI can make a massive change and a significant impact. Automated tasks. So repetitive tasks such as data entry, for example, in the finance function, raising sales invoices, processing purchase invoices and bank reconciliations, and generate reports can be automated by AI, freeing up valuable time for employees and business owners to function on more strategic work. Enhance risk management. So basically using AI strengthens financial security by acting as a vigilant fraud watchdog. And they do this by analyzing vast amounts of financial data. So AI can basically identify anomalies, I can't say that word, sorry, in real time, potentially flagging fraudulent activities with greater accuracy and speed. This will allow you with your business to be more able to make more informed decisions, which is important, and mitigate risk exposure. data-driven decision making. So this is a key here. So basically, AI can generate data-driven insights that can be used to support a wide range of financial decisions, pinpointing potential cost savings, investment and growth strategies, which is what we're in business for, is to grow, basically. Personalized customer services. Now, AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants can provide personalized customer service and support. This has been around for a while. I did say in my notes that actually it's kind of early stages, but it's not, because we get it everywhere. We, on a website, there's chatbots. You get the chatbots on the telephones when you're trying to reach customer service. So basically, this is kind of the norm, and I can see this appearing more in finance industries as well, but it's primarily the norm in service industries at the moment, and will be there. It's never going away, basically. The future of the future of finance is AI driven. So basically, as a business owner, as you recognize the potential for what AI can offer, and that it helps you gain, it helps your risk, and also helps you make the right decisions. It's basically expected to be in massive growth in the next couple of years. Now, McKinsey's did a report in about 2 years ago and said that AI would impact finance and those sort of service industries by 2040. They did another report recently after ChatGPT number 4.0 came out, and they said it's going to be in 2030. So companies that embrace the AI now and in the next 18 months potentially will be well positioned to thrive in the ever-changing financial landscape. So it's something really, really to think about and consider. AI for smarter risk management. Now, I don't want to read this slide because I kind of think that this I don't want to really read the slide out in particular, because I'm going to discuss some of these points a bit later on. The one that I think stress testing is what I'd like to talk about a little bit more detail, is that basically stress testing is where you put what if scenarios. So a really good tool at the moment that's out there is a tool called Fathom, which if you import your data, your from your accounting system, if you have one, into this particular AI generated sort of platform, it will give you fantastic what if scenarios. So if you decide to take a new employee, what will happen to your cash flow primarily? And it gives you various different scenarios that you can build in to help you with your decision making. Getting started now. So here's some of the steps that you basically can take before you start implementing AI for smarter risk management. So define specific tasks your business, or specific risks your business wants to address with AI. Now, always with businesses, the biggest risk is not having enough sales, not having enough cash in the business. So you want to try and get the AI to help you with enabling that you've got more money in the bank and you'll increase sales from better quality leads. Assess the quality of your data availability. So I think assess the quality and quantity of your financial information and data available, so you're able to train the AI models. Make sure you have the information that you hold in your business is clean, because basically AI is only as good as the person using it. And I tested an AI module to give me an answer on my tax return. Because I didn't ask the right questions, I got gobbledygook back. But when I actually sat back and thought, oh, hang on a minute, let me ask the same question in a different way, it gave me back my tax return result bar 20p. So that's something to keep in mind. Choose the right AI tools. Now, there are different AI solutions available, and it's really important that you select one that aligns to your specific needs and budget. There are a few AI-enabled financial systems that suit the smaller business, for example, QuickBooks and Xero. For smaller businesses that want to connect their customer relationship management tool to the accounting software, then there's Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. Develop a data governance strategy. Now, this I can see this is going to be legislation like cyber security. So ensure that your data is secure, reliable, and compliant with regulations before feeding it into AI models, because the AI model will only spit out what you put in. So that's very important. Integrate your AI with existing systems. This, for instance, will ensure smooth transition and smooth data flow with actionable insights. QuickBooks and Xero, for example, speak to many other systems. For example, Salesforce, there's Zapier that can link financial systems to other platforms, and there's payment processors like Cresco. And also ensure that if you have a cloud-based accounting software, that you also ensure that your bank feeds are automatic, because that will save plenty of time and will also raise any errors. Financial risk management is critical for any business, and AI can be a valuable tool for identifying and mitigating financial risks. By analyzing historical data and identifying patterns, AI can help predict potential risks such as fraud, credit defaults, and market fluctuations. This allows businesses to develop proactive risk mitigation strategies and address potential problems before they escalate. By enabling proactive risk management, AI can significantly improve a business's financial stability and resilience. Building a future-proof finance function with AI. Now, so basically here, number one, assess your current finance function and identify areas where AI can add value. For example, purchase invoicing platform like Dext can upload and prepare your invoices without manual inputting. I mean, it's a game changer, that one. So basically what happens is because it's learned where you need to code your invoices. So when you put the same invoice in for a different time period, it will recognize the fact that Joe Blogs gets coded to materials. It will automatically be preset to code to materials. So it's just a matter of pressing a button rather than having to go back and figure out where did I code the last one. Start with small pilot projects that test feasibility and benefits of AI. Now, a good one for this one is projects. So where costs need to be identified. So you've been given a project or you're working on a project and you need to keep your project costs under one umbrella. AI will enable you to do this. Many financial software platforms often have project modules that are AI enabled. For instance, Xero have a project module already set up, which you can use, and you can actually use timesheets. So if you have people working for you that are working on that project, you can assign their time to that project, and it's all AI enabled. Again, it's real time. Another really fantastic AI tool for that is a platform called Harvest, where you can it's like a timesheet AI enabled software system that you can do your work and submit it for approval, and then you can base your invoice, and I think it raises your invoices if you're a subcontractor as well to the client, which is fantastic. Invest in training yourself, or if applicable, your finance team on how to work effectively with AI tools. I have listed top 5 resources at the end of this webinar for to sort of go on and have a look. YouTube is great for this as well, for understanding how AI is impacting. There's lots and lots of people talking about AI and the impact it will have on businesses, on individuals, and on your work. So, for instance, copywriting has gone, it's now AI enabled. So people are used. I've worked for clients that use ChatGPT number 4.0 for their copywriting rather than employing somebody or having a subcontractor come in and do that work. So yeah, YouTube I think is a great resource as well. Be open to fostering a culture of innovation and continuous development within your business. So while the integration of AI tools does offer numerous benefits, it also can present several challenges, which it's important to look at both sides of the coin. Adoption of AI does require investment in time and technology, as well as training, which can be a barrier for smaller businesses. So that's something really to consider. Although, to be honest, a lot of the financial software platforms are very intuitive. So that is an issue, but I kind of think you can overcome that as well, because a lot, as I said, the platforms are very intuitive. Challenge of data security and privacy of AI systems, as we discussed, process vast amounts of sensitive data that can make them appealing for cyber attacks. I got my email hacked the other day, which was devastating. So that's something really to be aware of and ensure that if you are using AI enabled tools, that you are secure, you've got everything locked down. There are also concerns about loss of human oversight, which can lead to ethical dilemmas, especially if AI systems make errors or are based on flawed algorithms. I mean, this is super important. So even though we're using AI, it's also important to have an overview. Somebody actually looks at it. So it's already been in discussions within the finance industry overall, that if you are just an accountant or bookkeeper that it will be plugging in numbers and just producing basic reports without the strategic oversight to give your client, your job is gone in 5 years. They've already said that. So the idea of 40 years ago, where you had your bank manager and your accountant appear at family events because they are business advisors and become close friends, we're going back to that, because churning out numbers will be done by an AI, but the oversight and the interpretation of what these reports bring will be the most important part. So finance and the professionals within the finance need to sort of change what they're doing and how they approach it. So where people are coming in at entry level, there is a kind of, one of the challenges I think, which I haven't mentioned, is that we will need to shore up that shortfall, where people learn not to just churn out numbers, but actually interpret them properly to give insight to business owners. And my last slide is the list of free resources that I won't read out, but they're there for you to have a look at. And as I said, YouTube is also a very good source of information. And thank you.
Well, thank you, Nichole. That was really interesting. I mean, I was going to ask a couple of questions and sort of observations. I mean, just sort of the chamber actually uses Zero. So I can, confirm that's a really good system. You mentioned that earlier. Our financial director has set that up, so I know that that's really good.
Yeah.
One of my questions was, you talk about the cloud. Do you feel there's some small businesses are hesitant to put sensitive information on the cloud in the fear of it being hacked? I mean, how secure is the cloud?
It is with these accounting softwares, they require the 2FA, isn't it? The I can't say the word.
Financial authorities?
Yeah, no, two-stage authentication now,
Oh,
and
right.
all of them need two-stage authentication. So nobody can go into the cloud and hack your software. It's just almost
Oh, right.
impossible. But what is very, very interesting, I attended an AI webinar conference a couple of months ago, and I talked to a very interesting guy from Freeman Clark who was mentioning that out of the small businesses in the UK, only 20% have cloud-based accounting software.
Oh, wow.
And out of them, so it's very, very small amount. Some people, a lot of businesses are still using Excel.
Yeah.
So even though AI is here and it's here to stay, there are a lot of small businesses that actually are concerned about that. But I personally don't think that is an issue. I think it's more about because software now, Zero especially, in QuickBooks, they've been evolving in the last 10 years. It's in their best interest to make sure that it does not get hacked. And a lot of my clients are cloud based, and they have VPNs where you have to go through a VPN before you can access their software, or it's the two-stage and authenticator.
All right. So the good news is that it's actually reduced the fear of being,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
I was going to say scammed or the
Yes. Yeah,
cyber
definitely.
security
Yeah.
side of it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know personally everything that you do now online, it's all send a text code,
Yes.
HMRC. I was in them yesterday. Again, it's even though you've got various stages, so
Yeah.
that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Earlier on in your presentation, you mentioned about the chat box. Was you suggesting, I'm sorry if I've missed this, was you suggesting that what people set up a chat box on their systems, so if their customers have got a question, they can ask them, or was you referring to the fact that most financial organisations now have got a chat box?
Yeah, chatbots, I was saying from a customer service point of view, in the sense that chatbots and virtual assistants have changed the face of customer services. So when you go onto a service-based industry website, you have a chatbot or you have a virtual assistant. Lots of people have Otter AI that also work in the same sort of way, that will take notes and transcripts for meetings. So it's kind of here to stay. I think the only downside is we just have to look at a different way of working. So whereas businesses might have had a big customer service department of say 20 people, because of chatbots and virtual assistants, they probably only need 5.
Yeah, because what I find is that if I use a chat box, I want instant response. Even what they say,
Yeah,
"Oh, we'll get back to you in 5 minutes." I think, "Oh, that's too long." I
yeah,
know it's ridiculous, but
yeah,
I think that's a sort of a barrier as well. If you haven't got the facilities to man or have automated responses,
yes,
I think that makes people so
definitely.
reluctant to use that.
Yeah,
So I don't know
definitely.
what the way round is. If there a way round using chatbox if you wanted to set up your own for your business?
I don't think so. I think you just need to you kind of need to talk to your website developer and see what they have to say. I don't know, because I don't use chatbots on my website, because
No.
mine's more of a personal relationship that I build up with my clients. So it's slightly different. I don't deal with inquiries per se. It's only if you've got a service business that you would expect a certain level of inquiries from customers.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I suppose for me, I was just thinking if this was a one-man band watching this presentation, obviously you've said about all the help that to go through.
Yeah.
So do they just start following your list that you were suggesting, or
Well,
can
I
you just
think
give
they
a,
need
a
to
quick sort of
understand. I think the
overview,
key, yeah,
please?
so I think the key thing is, what do you need? The key thing is, if you are a business, you need to get yourself a cloud-based accounting system, either Xero, which I recommend, and QuickBooks,
Yep.
which I also recommend. I think that's really, really important. If you need help, then reach out to myself or my team to help you set that up. Or there's lots of online advice. YouTube, I said, is a fantastic resource. And get yourself set up. Get your bank feed set up. 5% of businesses, only 5% of businesses, small businesses, have live bank feeds into their accounting system.
So does that mean that if a customer pays an invoice, they're alerted straight away and the money's in the bank? What about if a
Yes.
payment, is that the same? If a
Yeah,
payment needs
so
to
if
go
a
out, a
payment,
regular payment?
yeah, so if a payment's made, you can now do it where if you've got a bulk payment, you have to pay, I don't know, 15 suppliers at once. You can use a system for Cresco, which links to your accounting software, gets it ready for the bank, and then gets uploaded, and it's all done automatic. All you have to do is press a button. Whereas
All right.
before, it would have had to go through various different it might have had to, oh, I've got to look at that, I've got to do that individually. Now it's all done, and if you've got Xero, it integrates with so many different platforms that you just have to almost sit down for 15-20 minutes, gather, double check who you're going to pay, raise the report, and whack it over to Cresco, and they approve it, and it's gone.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you. So I feel I've dominated the questions
All
with
right.
my own, but can I open the floor if anybody's got a question, if they would like to raise their hand on screen or put their camera on? Has anybody got any questions for Nichole?
Hi, Nichole. Thank you for
Hello.
the presentation. Really insightful, and looking forward to receiving the slides. Completely agree with you what you're saying about, where the direction of travel is going in terms of particularly accountants. Accountants very much now want that synergy between the accounting software and themselves, but also HMRC are going digital by default. And
Absolutely.
surprising that
Absolutely.
20% of businesses are using cloud software. I imagine within the 10-year time period, it's going to be the reverse, and it'll probably be about 80%. And that's where we're going. But I wanted to just quickly ask you a little bit more about your organization, Margrave Financial Consulting. Where are you based? Kind of what are the services you offer? Kind of get a bit more background into
Right,
what.
so I'm based in Blackheath, so I'm in Southeast London. So I'm a financial troubleshooter. So I go in and I help companies sort out issues, whether it's to set up a new system, whether it's to get I've got various different clients from 100 million turnover down to 2.5 million turnover. So I go in and help businesses set up um their accounting software, making sure everything's in line and they're all HMRC compliant, and that they can tick it over themselves. So I go in and sort out problems they have. A lot of smaller businesses suddenly find themselves doing really, really well, and then suddenly, oh, they don't know what they're doing. They suddenly just become VAT compliant. They've suddenly gone over the threshold of VAT, and they haven't got a Scooby what they're doing. They've not got a clue what they're supposed to be doing. They know they need to do this. They know they're raising the invoices, but they don't know how to deal with it all. So I go in, set up the system, and then one of my girls will go in and look after them 1 day a week, 1 day a month, every quarter. So that's what we do.
Cool, thank you. And then another question for me is you touched on an AI tool called Fathom,
Yeah.
about troubleshooting different scenarios for
Yeah.
businesses.
What
And
if scenarios? Yeah, it's called the what if scenario. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wondered if you could maybe share a bit more about it, because that sounds like something that's going to be really useful in terms of financial strategy for businesses going forward, and something that could be
Definitely.
adopted by small businesses as well.
Definitely. So you do it's compliant with I think it's compliant with Sage, but I like it because it's compliant with Xero. I tell you, Xero talks to everything. It's brilliant. So basically what it does, it takes a live feed from your P&L and your balance sheet, and it will give you a cash flow depending on how long you want it. Might want it for a year, you might want it for 5 years. And what it does, it takes historical data from a year, and then it can project it 3 or 5 years. And you can also build in what if scenarios. So for instance, you've got a marketing event that you perhaps as a business want to take part of, but you don't know what the impact's going to be on, number one, your cash flow, or whether actually you're actually going to make a profit from it. So this is where Fathom is great for projects. And so basically you can then do a cash flow and look at, number one, your profit and your potential profit and loss, what the impact is likely to be on your cash flow, and you can then make the right decision. So Fathom is very good. It can be a little bit too much information. I think some of my clients have found it just a little bit too much information, but the key factor here is not actually to do the numbers, it's actually to explain them. And that's where my role comes in. It's more the hand holding, if you did this or did that, this is what the outcome will be. So if you did that marketing event, say like a beer festival or a festival, and you're going to be spending X amount, and you might need to take on two people to help out, will, number one, you make any money, and will you make any profit? Because don't forget, cash in the bank is different to profit.
So Mark, you're on mute.
I was just saying thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Very interesting questions, and it sounds like that you've learned a lot already from Nichole's presentation, which is really good news. Thank you. Has anybody else got any questions for Nichole? No, Nichole, back over to you.
Oh gosh, I've forgotten, Linda. Sorry. What was it we were discussing? I've forgotten. Sorry.
We were sort of just earlier before the meeting, you were saying that there was sort of lots of other things that you could talk about the financial situations. So I'm not sure if there's any sort of issues that you've come across in some of your experiences that would be helpful to the audience about things that maybe people have done that could have been avoided by using, AI.
Oh gosh, there's lots of different things. I think the thing that I've found with talking to all my clients or working with my clients is having an understanding that every business activity has a financial impact. And I think that's the crucial thing, that the finance department, finance function of your business is the backbone of your business, because there's so many businesses out there, small businesses, that kind of don't have a clue where they're at, how they're performing. I've got a client at the moment who doesn't know how he's doing. He hasn't got a clue. I've just taken him on. He doesn't have a clue. He's got money in the bank, but he doesn't actually know if he's actually making any profit. So it's sort of kind of, okay, let's get you set up and let's get you understanding what it is that you're looking for each month, and what you should be looking for. And just because you've got cash in the bank doesn't mean you're making any money. I mean, 9 times out of 10 that's not the case, but very often what is the case is you're making money, you've got sales, and you're looking good, but you've actually got nothing in the bank. So this is where AI can help, in the sense of enabling you to be able to chase your clients, but by using the automated letters that go out of it. So Xero, you can set up reminder letters. You can set them up to run out, be sent out automatically to your client, saying, oh, by the way, your invoice is now 3 days overdue, 7 days overdue, 14 days, or whatever. And then also statements, so that once you finish the billing, or if you billed your client, you can send them a statement. I normally do it after I've done the billing, and it's like 2 days after I've done the billing, so they know I've sent you invoices, because they get sometimes lost in the emails. So this is where AI helps. And as a small business owner, you want to use every capability you have to hand by using a software that will mean that you won't need to rely on a bookkeeper, but you just want somebody to come in 1 day a month or 1 quarter to do your VAT return if applicable, and just make sure everything's ticking over nicely. Because 9 times out of 10, AI powered software will automatically as Mark mentioned, your HMRC compliant is all digital. So it, a Xero, for instance, talks to HMRC for submitting your payroll, for submitting your VAT returns. So it's really important that we try and get smaller businesses on a software. I personally use Xero, but I have other clients on QuickBooks, which is also very good.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I think I suppose I'm wondering, you're talking about some businesses have their own sort of finance department, but I mean they're usually quite large companies. Most businesses are small businesses, like up to 10 people. So this would be an in-house function that they would need to take up.
Yes, but
Would
to
you
be honest,
agree?
yeah, but the idea of, I remember working for, an American company in England where we had 15 people in the finance department.
Wow.
But now you look at that company and they've got 5.
Yeah.
Because they've automated everything. There was 2 AP clerks that would process 4,000 invoices. Now there's 1 person. Because
Right. So
so it's things like that where AI has made it easier, because it's already, like Dex, for instance, is a purchasing. I mentioned this in the presentation.
that's right.
Dex
Yes.
is a purchase invoice software which will recognize, AI enabled, will recognize that you've already had an invoice. You've had an invoice from Joe Blogs previously, and it will know that invoice will go to costs or materials.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to, and that automatically puts it all that is already pre set to go to that nominal, that
Oh, thank
code
you.
on the P&L. So this is where it's important, I think, to embrace it as a small business. It doesn't matter if your turnover's 20 grand a year or 300 million. The thing is that it enables you to be able to do your tax return easily, because you're identifying costs as you're going along and making sure it just makes life as a business owner a much easier. So you're not worrying about doing the nitty-gritty. You're looking forward and looking at the strategic growth of your business, and AI enables cost saving. So it'll tell you, oh, you've already had an invoice with that same reference, because sometimes suppliers will send out invoices with the same reference. AI will flag that and go, hang on, you've already got that invoice.
It's funny you should say that, because we've had an incident where as one of our people, the invoice was sent, several times, a couple of times, request, but it wasn't flagged up that it was the same number, and so they paid when they did. So we refunded the money. But so it just shows how important that is, the AI.
Yeah.
If they had had that system, someone would have said to them, look, we've already had this code.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah,
Yeah.
precisely. Yeah.
Well, I think thank you so much for the presentation. I mean, I've learned a lot. I mean, my overall sort of takeaway message really is what you're saying is any business, no matter what the size, needs to get on board with AI and the cloud. It will save them not just money, but time, and take some of the headaches away that a small business in particular has to deal with,
Yeah.
of working with the customers, and like you say, knowing where they are within their business.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
if anybody's got any questions that they may want to, are you okay for them to send you an email
Of course. Most welcome.
a
Most
later
welcome.
date? Oh, lovely. Well, thank you. Well, we'll stop. I'm not sure of the recording. Oh, Amanda's got her hand up. So, Amanda, would you like to ask a question?
Hi, apologies. My microphone wasn't working, so I've just managed to get that fixed. And I just wanted to say thank you. That was really, really helpful. I've connected with you on LinkedIn.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just sent you a message. So
Lovely.
yeah, it'd be great to further discuss with you.
Absolutely. I am available. Do connect with me on LinkedIn, or if you wish, you are most welcome to email me. I'm more than happy to deal with any questions that you may have after this.
Perfect. Thank you.
And thank you, Amanda, for getting back to us, and also for your positive feedback. That's really helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you once again, Nichole, and this session has been recorded and will go on our website, and the slides will be sent out to the people that are registered for this event. And thank you again for giving up your time.
My pleasure. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.